This story is not meant to be heard after midnight.
Left me alone, Evelyn.
It was a gray Tuesday afternoon when Evelyn received the parcel. No return address, no sender, just her own handwriting, faint, smudged, as if written years ago. The cardboard was old, the tape yellowed and brittle. She hesitated for a long time before cutting through the layers. Inside lay a doll, a porcelain face cracked around one eye, curls of faded blonde hair tangled like old spider silk. Its dress, once white, had turned a dull, tea-stained beige. There was a faint scent of lavender, or maybe decay. Evelyn felt her stomach twist. She knew this doll. She had owned it once, when she was 9, and she had buried it, herself, in her grandmother's backyard after it started whispering. Her pulse quickened. She could almost hear her grandmother's voice again, that trembling warning. Never keep what doesn't stay still, Evelyn. The doll's glassy eyes caught the dim light from the kitchen window, and for a brief second, she thought they shimmered wet, like real eyes. A chill crawled through her chest. She left the box on the counter and backed away slowly. Her dog, Jasper, started growling, low, uneasy. His fur stood up, and his eyes locked on the doll. Then, from inside the box, a soft thump. Evelyn froze. The sound came again, heavier this time, like something shifting its weight. She reached for her phone, but before she could dial anyone, a faint, childlike giggle leaked through the cardboard. It was a voice she remembered. Her own. Evelyn stumbled backward, knocking over a chair. The parcel shifted once more, and the box tilted on its side. The doll rolled slightly, stopping at the edge, staring up at her, mouth curved in a tiny, knowing smile. Outside, the wind howled through the trees. A loose shutter clattered. The house seemed to breathe with her. And then the whisper came again, clear and gentle, from the doll's tiny lips. You left me alone, Evelyn. But I came back. That night, Evelyn couldn't sleep. The box was gone. She'd thrown it in the trash outside before sunset. But the doll she left sitting on the kitchen counter. Every time she closed her eyes, she heard faint creaks from downstairs. She told herself it was the wind, or Jasper pacing. But then came the whisper. Faint, soft, childlike. You forgot my lullaby, Evelyn. Her heart pounded. She turned on the lamp, gripping the blanket like armor. Jasper whimpered at the foot of the bed, eyes fixed on the door. Then, a slow tap, 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 on the floorboards just outside her room. Evelyn rose, trembling, every instinct screaming to stay still, but she had to know. The corridor was bathed in blue moonlight. The air felt heavy, thick with something unseen. Halfway down the hall, she froze. The doll was there, sitting neatly against the wall, hands resting on its knees, head tilted up toward her. That same cracked smile. Evelyn whispered, How did you get up here? The doll's porcelain eyelids blinked. Once. The hallway light flickered, and all at once the air was full of whispers, overlapping, echoing, hundreds of tiny voices chanting her name. Evelyn. 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 She stumbled backward, gasping. The doll's dress fluttered though no wind blew. Its cracked mouth opened wider, and from within came a soft lullaby, one she hadn't heard since she was a child. The same one her grandmother used to sing before she died. And in that voice, layered beneath the song, came a whisper so close she could feel its breath. You buried me, remember. The next morning, Evelyn drove back to her grandmother's house, the place where she had buried the doll decades ago. The property was abandoned, eaten by vines and rot. The garden gate hung loose, rusted, whining as it swung. She walked through tall, brittle grass until she found the old oak tree and the patch of disturbed soil she remembered. A chill went through her. The earth there was freshly turned. She knelt, brushing away damp leaves, revealing a small mound. There, half buried, was the box she had thrown out the day before. Her breath caught. The same cracked cardboard, the same handwriting, and inside, nothing. The doll was gone. She stumbled back, clutching her chest. Jasper barked frantically at something behind her. She turned and froze. The doll stood on the porch, not sitting, standing, its head tilted, curls swaying in the still air. In its tiny porcelain hands, it held a small, withered bouquet of lavender. Evelyn whispered, "Why? What do you want from me?" And then, from the doll's unmoving lips, came the voice, her grandmother's voice this time. "You promised to take care of her, Evelyn. You let her die alone." Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. Memories flooded, the fire, the screams, the doll clutched in her grandmother's arms as she burned. The wind howled through the branches, scattering ashes that weren't there. The doll's cracked face glistened, and for one impossible moment, Evelyn saw her grandmother's eyes looking back. Then, silence, and the doll collapsed, motionless. But when Evelyn looked down, there was a small child's footprint in the soil, fresh. Evelyn brought the doll back inside the house, desperate to end it. She placed it in the middle of the living room and poured gasoline around it, trembling, whispering prayers. But before she could light the match, the house breathed. Every door slammed shut. Windows locked themselves. The wallpaper began to peel, revealing names written underneath, dozens of them, all children's names, all in her handwriting. She screamed, dropping the lighter. The doll sat perfectly still, but its eyes moved. Slowly. "It's not me you should burn," the voice whispered. "It's you." The flames erupted, climbing the curtains, devouring the room in seconds. Evelyn tried to reach the door, but the floorboards warped, trapping her feet. In the middle of the fire, the doll didn't burn. It smiled. And through the crackle of the flames came the voices, hundreds of them now, the same whispers from the hallway, rising in a dreadful harmony. "She's one of us now." Evelyn screamed, but her voice was swallowed by the roaring blaze. When the fire department arrived hours later, the house was ashes. They never found Evelyn's body. Only a single porcelain doll, untouched by flame. Its cracked mouth still curled into a smile. The rain started after midnight. Not a storm, just a steady, heavy drizzle that blurred the streetlights into halos. Evelyn hadn't slept. She sat on the couch, staring at the closed box where she'd locked the doll earlier that evening. She had even taped it shut, wrapped it in towels, and placed it inside the fireplace. Yet the faint tapping continued, muffled but insistent. Tap, tap, tap. At 3:07 a.m., a new sound joined it. 3 sharp knocks at the front door. Evelyn froze. The clock on the wall ticked once, then stopped. "Hello?" she whispered. No answer. Her hands shook as she peeked through the peephole. The porch was empty, except for the box. The same cardboard parcel, damp from the rain, sitting upright. She hadn't opened that door. Her breath trembled in her throat. Slowly, She turned the handle. The wind howled through the gap, chilling her bones. She dragged the parcel inside again, shaking. The towel was gone. The tape peeled clean off, and the doll was sitting neatly on top, its dress perfectly dry. Evelyn whispered, "What do you want from me?" The doll's head tilted slightly, a small crack forming at the corner of its porcelain smile. The air thickened, the smell of lavender, stronger now, but rancid. Then 3 faint knocks echoed again, from inside the house. Jasper barked, furious, toward the hallway. When Evelyn turned, the living room lights flickered once, and the doll was gone from the box. Evelyn backed into the wall, clutching her phone. The power flickered again, plunging the house into a thick gray darkness. Only the sound of Jasper's growl broke the silence, then the faint rhythm of footsteps above her head. Slow, measured, like a child pacing. She whispered, "No one's there," as if saying it aloud could make it true. But the ceiling creaked again, one step, then another. Dust drifted down from the rafters. She forced herself up the stairs, each step protesting under her weight. The hallway was cold, darker than it should be. At the far end, the guest room door was open just a crack, light spilling out. She pushed it open. The doll sat on the bed, upright, facing the doorway. A strand of her blonde hair hung over one glass eye. On the wall behind her, someone had written 3 words in a child's uneven scrawl. She never left. Evelyn dropped her phone. The flashlight blinked across the floor, revealing muddy footprints, small, bare, leading from the doll to the window. The window was locked. Then a voice whispered right beside her ear, a tone identical to her own childhood recordings. "You promised you'd play." The bedroom door slammed. By morning, Evelyn was trembling and sleep-deprived. She gathered the doll, the box, and the ashes from the fireplace, determined to end this once and for all. She opened the basement door, a space she hadn't entered since her grandmother's death. The air smelled of mold and rust. Dust motes floated like ghosts in the thin beam of light. Evelyn set the box on the cement floor. She poured lighter fluid over it, her hands shaking, and struck a match. Nothing happened. The flame danced, then died, as if choked by invisible air. She tried again, and again. Each time, the fire refused to catch. The doll stared up at her, unburned. Then the basement bulb above flickered, once, twice, before exploding with a soft pop. The darkness that followed was thick, almost alive. From that blackness came the sound of porcelain dragging across concrete. Evelyn stumbled back. The doll was moving, crawling toward her, scraping its cracked hands across the floor. Its head tilted back, and in that hollow space between each movement, Evelyn heard a soft, rhythmic whisper, "Don't leave me again." When she reached the stairs, something icy grabbed her ankle. She screamed. The voice that came out wasn't hers. Evelyn ran upstairs, slamming the basement door. She called 911, but her phone glitched. The line filled with faint static and a child's giggle instead of a ringtone. Then a voice answered, calm and cold. "Evelyn, you can't report yourself." She froze. The voice was hers. The phone fell to the floor. On the screen, the contact name said, "Evelyn, home." Every light in the house turned off at once. The air felt thick, suffocating. From the darkness came the faint sound of a music box, the same tune her doll once played when wound up. Then, from the hallway, that same light humming. A child's voice, growing closer, step by step. Evelyn whispered, "Please, "What are you?" And the voice replied softly, right beside her ear, "I'm what you buried." By sunrise, Evelyn had only one thought left: dig it up. If the doll had truly come back from her childhood burial, then maybe, just maybe, the truth was still under the earth. She stumbled barefoot into the backyard, shovel in hand, rain soaking her nightgown. The ground was soft, the soil black and slick. She began to dig, deeper and deeper, until the shovel hit something solid. Wood. An old box. She tore it open with shaking hands, and inside wasn't just the remains of a doll. There was a small skeleton, curled like a child in sleep, dressed in the same faded blue cloth. A voice whispered behind her, "You shouldn't have left her there." Evelyn turned, but saw no one. Only the doll, sitting upright beside the hole, dirt smeared across its face, smiling. Her mind fractured. Memories she'd buried surfaced. Her grandmother's scream, the fire, the accident, the little cousin she was supposed to be watching that day. The doll wasn't the one that came back. It was her. Evelyn woke up in her bed. The morning sun poured through the curtains, warm and golden, as if none of it had happened. Her phone buzzed. A message. "Thank you for finding me." No number. No contact. On the nightstand, the doll sat quietly, eyes fixed on her. Her mouth was different now, slightly open, porcelain lips parted just enough to whisper. Jasper was gone. The house was silent. The smell of lavender filled every room, heavy and sweet like rot. Evelyn's reflection in the mirror twitched, but her body didn't move. Her reflection smiled first. From the hallway came soft footsteps, small ones, bare feet. Evelyn turned toward the sound. The camera that sat on her desk powered on by itself, the lens slowly rotating toward her. Through the reflection, she watched as something climbed onto the bed beside her. Small porcelain hands, blonde curls, blue dress. The doll looked up and whispered with her own voice, "Now we both can stay. If you're still here, it means it found you too."